If you keep chewing gum, initially there is some taste, few seconds. Later on the taste is gone. You're just trying to suck and suck more taste, but there's no taste. Now instead of getting taste, you're getting jaw pain. And now you question, why am I even chewing this? Nowadays people are they ask, oh, if God exists, show me your God. If I can see your God, I believe in God. Is seeing believing? Definitely not. There's so many things. Like one professor was speaking like this in the classroom. The student asked, my dear sir, can you see your brain? And he said no. So all the kids started laughing because then your brain does not exist. Why? Because some people think whatever you see, only that you can believe. External covering is our material body. But this body is not me. For example, I can ask you, whose glasses are those? Whose coat is that?
Mine.
Whose hand is that?
That's my hand.
Your hand, sure it's not mine. Right?
Yeah.
Whose ear is that?
Mine.
Whose body is that?
I don't know. My body maybe.
So who are you?
I don't know.
Please repeat. Aham sarvasya prabhavo.
Aham sarvasya prabho.
Matta sarvam pravartate.
Matta sarvam pravartate.
Iti matva bhajante mam.
Iti matva bhajante mam.
Buddha bhava samanvitaha.
Buddha bhava samanvitaha.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
So Krishna is first saying, understand that everything is coming from me. I am the source of all the material and the spiritual worlds. So anyone who understands the supreme position of God, who God really is, why do people deride God? Why do people envy God? Why do people not just care about God? Because they don't know who God is. Last time we discussed about Harold S. Kushner, a rabbi. So he felt because his young child died very young, at the age of 14, he felt, me trying to be a pious man, a devotee of God, and still my son died. That means, yes, I must believe that God exists, but he cannot be all powerful, all merciful, all knowing at the same time. Probably he's all merciful and all powerful, and he's not all knowing. That probably he did not know my son is suffering such a disease. Or he could be all merciful and all knowing, but not all powerful to stop the disease of my son. Or he could be all powerful and all knowing, but may not be all merciful, that he did not show compassion to my son. So he has written that famous book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. So Krishna says, if you just understand who I am, such a person falls in love with me. So we can understand one thing. Why do we not fall in love with God? Because we don't know who really He is. We have our own conception or our own idea of God. And definitely our idea and our conception of God is definitely not attractive. How do we know that? Because we ourselves are not attracted to that conception. What does Krishna say? Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this, worship me or engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. That is the result of knowledge of God. And therefore Krishna is speaking the Bhagavad Gita just to help us understand who He is. So does God exist? Yes. How do you know? As Albert Einstein says, when he was asked, do you believe in God? He said, I believe in the God of Spinoza. So Spinoza was a philosopher who believed that the nature itself is so godly. So Albert Einstein also marveled the organization, the beauty, and all these intricate, delicate features in nature. He marveled that it cannot come by chance. And because it cannot come by chance, it actually pointed out to an all super intelligent designer behind it. Just like if I give you some, i7 chip or M1, M2 chip, a small chip can actually have such strong processing power, isn't it? Like the first computer, it was so huge, like a room size. Now, as we increase the design, better the design of the chip, smaller and sleeker the design, sleeker the model of the gadget, isn't it? That means the chip is very powerful and the design is very good, isn't it? But if you have a big computer and it can only run very slowly, that means the design is very bad. Chip is very bad. So similarly, if this whole cosmic manifestation can work so well, that means there must be a super intelligent designer behind all of this. Otherwise, when is it ever happened that something has happened by chance? As the scientists say, Big Bang Theory. There was a point concentrate, physically undescribable, mathematically unverifiable. But this point was so much, for whatever reason, there was a burst, and out of it came a harmonious universe. It makes no sense. So one person, one scientist, other scientist, he remarked, if Big Bang could cause such a harmonious universe, he said he'd rather open up a small bang company. Not a big bang, small bang. Anytime you wanted something beautiful to come up in this world, just go and put a bomb, have a bomb blast there. What comes out? Destruction. Have you ever seen out of destruction comes harmony? Never. When the US attacked Japan and bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, what came out of that? Did beautiful skyscrapers come out of it? No. With bomb blast comes destruction. But somehow some scientists believe in this. So similarly, they believe in the Big Bang Theory. So Big Bang Theory, quantum theory, string theory, of course, they're all pointing towards ultimately that there has to be some kind of a super intelligent designer. And as Lord Kelvin says, science ends with God and religion begins with God. That's the only difference. So Krishna is saying, please understand who I am. When you understand who I am, then you can't but helplessly fall in love with me. Because believe it or not, we are all looking for that person in others. We want to develop relationship with people who can perfectly reciprocate with us. We are all looking for a relationship with a person who is very smart, who is very attractive, who is very wealthy, who is very famous, who is very renounced. Isn't it? Krishna is all of it, Krishna says. And therefore, God in Sanskrit is called as Bhagavan. Bhaga means opulences and Van means one who possesses these opulences. So Krishna is saying, basically try to understand me, who I am. To the degree you understand who I am, to that degree you will engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Yes?
So is Krishna eternal? Like is he like forever? He's like
Yes.
doesn't die. He's forever.
Correct, yes. God is also forever. We are also forever.
We-
We too, yes. Our bodies are not. So in the Vedic wisdom, it is explained how our bodies are compared to a car, but we are actually the driver in the car. We are not this body.
But like why he's making it so confusing? Like why?
Why is it making so confusing?
Yeah. Like why?
So it is because we want to enjoy separate from him. For example, when we have desire other than to love him, then it's called as a material desire. So if we want to enjoy in this material world, you can't also know that Krishna or God is the enjoyer. So Krishna gives forgetfulness. So the jiva or the living entity has come to this world just for the purpose of enjoying separate from God. So that facility to enjoy separate from God is, okay, you take this body, a separate material body, a separate material world. It's like your playground. Those living entities trying to enjoy here lifetime after millions and millions of lifetimes, they become frustrated. There is no enjoyment here. They are the ones who start questioning life. See, you take all the population, not everyone questions life. Some people are just into it. And some people question. Because some have experienced the same thing. It has become like chewing the chewed. If you keep chewing gum, initially there is some taste, few seconds. Later on the taste is gone. You're just trying to suck and suck more taste, but there's no taste. Now, instead of getting taste, you're getting jaw pain. And now you question, why am I even chewing this? Isn't it? So the living entities who are frustrated with trying to enjoy in the material world, they question. And they try to develop the relationship with God, understanding, okay, I cannot become I cannot enjoy separate from God. So therefore the material world is like a reformation center. The reformation center is, we have a disease that we want to selfishly enjoy, keeping ourselves in the center. So therefore God wants to say, if we want to try to selfishly enjoy, it is not possible. And you will see the same truth across all the texts. Yeah.
But the Bhagavad Gita is only 5,000 years old, and the world is much older.
The world is much.
Yeah.
So Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the 4th chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna, I have spoken the same knowledge to the sun god millions of years ago. But due to the course of time, as is the nature of the world, things get deteriorated. And therefore, Arjuna, I am speaking this knowledge to you again. He says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarishyo viduhu sa kaleneha mahata yoga nashta parantapa. And therefore, I am re-speaking this knowledge.
So it's the same knowledge from
Millions of years ago, yes.
Oh, okay.
So you see, knowledge it's not created at a point in time. For example, if I ask you, how old is the law of gravity? Law of gravity didn't come into existence when Newton discovered it. It was already taking place, but Newton put it into paper. Similarly, the knowledge, spiritual knowledge, any kind of knowledge is there since the dawn of creation. It's always there. But some people compile it, they say, okay, Archimedes' principle, Kepler's laws of planetary motion, you can name it, discover it, but knowledge is knowledge. It's always there. Isn't it? So Krishna, that spiritual knowledge is there. 5,000 years ago, Krishna is re-speaking the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna because over the due course of time, the knowledge was depleting. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So Krishna says, please first try to understand who I am. And in the entire purport, Srila Prabhupada is giving various Vedic references establishing Krishna's position as God. All the Upanishads, the Puranas, Itihasas, he's quoting to say how Krishna is having that position as the Supreme God. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. You can read the translation.
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and convincing about me.
Yes. So Krishna is telling Arjuna here that those people, those living entities, having understood who I am, they become my devotees. These, for them, they are no more in the center. Now they have placed Krishna in the center. Why? Because they know by water, Krishna is like the root of the tree, and we are like the part of the tree. You don't need to water every part of the plant if you're watering the root of the plant. So the living entities who become devotees of God, they understand all we have to do is water the root. Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice story. Once all the senses in the body, they went on a strike. They said, why is it that the stomach always has to get the food? He's always the enjoyer. We also want to enjoy. So these hands, they restrain themselves from picking up food. The mouth is restricted itself from chewing and swallowing the food. The eyes stopped looking at the food. The legs stopped going towards the food because they all became envious. Why is it that only the stomach enjoys? And then they went on for a while, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. After 3 days, they understood, actually without feeding the stomach, we are all becoming very weak. Without feeding the stomach, who is actually suffering? We are suffering. So then all the senses cooperated, went towards the food and they ate. The teeth, they used the teeth to chew, and the tongue, Saliva. The saliva was created and it swallowed. It went to the stomach. As soon as the stomach was fed, immediately they all got energy. So Srila Prabhupada says, in the same way, in this material world, everyone is saying, why to worship God? Who is God? I don't care who God is. Agnostics, atheistic, all these people. Why? Because sometimes they become envious. Why him? Why not me? In my school, I had a friend like that. He said, I don't believe in God. And the next moment he would say, I am God. I don't believe in God. That means anyone other than me. If at all there is God, that's me. But what makes you God? Why? Because this is called as envy. But the devotees are not like that. The devotees understand by worshipping God, who is becoming nourished? We become nourished. By watering the root of the plant, who is nourished? The plant's roots and shoots are nourished. By feeding the stomach, who is nourished? The senses are nourished. Similarly, by worshipping God, the living entities are nourished. Krishna tells in the BhagavadGita 15th chapter, Mamevamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. That means all the living entities in this world, be in any species, the soul is same in every species. They are all individual souls of same nature. Krishna says all these living entities are my parts and parcels. They are not, it's not that the soul only in the human form of life is my part and parcel. Even the soul in cockroach's body, even the soul in an earthworm's body, even a soul in the rat's body, or any species we don't even like to see, even that soul is my part and parcel. So when the living entities come together to worship God, it is like watering the root of the tree. All the parts of the plant or the tree is automatically nourished. So therefore the devotees, Krishna says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Having understood I am the Supreme and they have developed love for me, for them nothing else matters in this world. Yes, there will be problems. Material world means problems. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj says, King Prahlad, he says, he says that he actually gives a formula how to become happy. He says the way to become happy in this world is stop looking for happiness. Then you'll become happy. Why? Because more and more you have expectations from this world that this world is going to make me happy. More you get frustrated that you're not happy. More you give up or let go of those false hopes of trying to be happy in this material world, more you will be happy. You'll be peaceful, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's how this material world is. The creator Brahma, he is saying that this world, every step there's a danger. We don't know what is going to happen next. Even a doctor cannot give a next 7-minute guarantee that we are going to live. There is no guarantee. And therefore, Krishna is saying, my pure devotees, they don't worry too much about material life. Material life follows. What is material life? Doing the needful to sustain this body. Because we want to... Yes, you can ask.
I have a question. You said we should not have expectations, and so we will be more happy because we don't have expectations.
Yeah.
So should we have like a plan? What should it be? Because when you have plans, you have expectations because you kind of like you're expected to follow the plan.
Correct, yes.
So
See, it is mentioned in management that the best manager who is one who expects worse situations and he plans for the worst situation. Like for example, say you're organizing an event. You should also have a plan B, what if everything fails?
Mhm.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So similarly, we do make plans, but we also need to know it's not for sure that it has to work.
Mhm.
Isn't it? So the expectation is that, yeah, I'll make the plan, but I'm also ready in case it doesn't work. That's the expectation.
Mhm.
It's not that, okay, I've planned this, it has to go the way I've planned.
Mhm.
That's too over expectation from this material world, which is everything is just falling apart. Isn't it?
Because maybe the plan is wrong.
The plan is wrong, yes, but even is the nature of this material world that there is nothing perfect.
Mhm.
And therefore the saying goes, to err is human, but to forgive is divine. Because the nature of, with our imperfect senses, we cannot get anything perfect. But that doesn't mean we don't plan. We of course plan. But to think that this material world will give me happiness because I've planned, I've achieved, I've done it, I've achieved all my goals, I've done what I wanted to do. To think that that will give me happiness, that is being warned. Don't think that will give you happiness. But that doesn't mean you don't do it. You do the needful, but don't have false expectation that it will give you happiness. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So therefore, Krishna is saying, my pure devotees have full faith that if we worship God, it's like watering the root of the tree. If we are watering the root of the tree, then Krishna will take care. We don't have to unnecessarily worry simply about the material world. Everything in this world is temporary. Once a minister, he went to the king and gave him a gift on his birthday. The king, having received this particular gift from the minister, he was very happy. But of course, he wanted an explanation. What was the gift? The gift was a golden ring. But king was already having so much gold. He was not fond of gold. But the message that was engraved on the ring, the minister, he called for the minister and asked him, what does this mean? And the minister said, the engraved message reads, this too shall pass. So the king asked, what does it mean? He said, my dear king, when you are in depressed times, when everything in your life is going wrong, understand, this too shall pass. That's the power of time. And when everything in your life is going so well and you become complacent, trying to understand the purpose and goal of life, look at the ring. The message reads, this too shall pass. Isn't it? So never we should become attached to how our life is going. Anything can happen by the power of time, by the power of karma. But we understand we have to become God conscious and understand what is the purpose of life. To understand who God is and develop a relationship with Him. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, if somebody punishes the devotee, physically or mentally or spiritually, like somebody tries to punish a devotee of Krishna. So, according to the karmic process in Gita, is there any punishment for such soul that who treats the devotee in a bad way, or like?
How the devotee receives it is, he is grateful. He feels I deserve much worse, so he just responds with gratitude. But the Supreme Lord, God, does not appreciate such an action. Like in America, it is said, "Love me, love my dog." Like you want to develop some good relationship with the other person, but you kick the dog. Will you like it? The dog might not do anything. Indian dogs, they will. But American dogs are pretty peaceful. So you might kick the dog and the dog might not do anything, but the master is he's very angry about it. So he might do something. So similarly, God doesn't appreciate anyone who is disturbing his devotees unnecessarily. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So, like, when we die, are we going to be conscious?
Yes, Krishna says in the second chapter, we are the eternal souls. So just imagine, have you seen a green coconut? Like the green fiber? Then when you open, you haven't seen?
Oh, no, not
Okay.
a white coconut.
Coconut inside the pulp is white, but it has a shell. The shell is brown, but outside the brown is a green fiber.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you will get in the market also here. They get it from Thailand and other places. So generally the outer fiber, you break the outer fiber, then you get a hard brown shell. When you break the brown shell of the coconut, inside you get the white pulp, coconut pulp. Similarly, the green fiber, the external covering, is our material body. But this body is not me. That means, for example, I can ask you, whose glasses are those?
Mine.
Whose coat is that?
Mine.
Whose hand is that?
That's my hand.
Your hand, sure, right? Sure, it's not mine. Right?
Yeah.
And whose ear is that?
My ear.
Whose body is that?
I don't know. My body, maybe.
So who are you?
I don't know.
So Krishna says in the second chapter of the Gita, you're the eternal soul. You're not this body. You're the person inside this body, the eternal soul, who is the driver of the body.
So will I remember like me? Will I remember like me when I like die? Like I was like on this earth? Like will I know?
Yes,
lived on this
definitely.
earth?
Yes, it's just
Oh.
like sometimes, you know, you have seen dramas in theater. You take up different roles.
Mhm.
Say you're playing Romeo and Juliet, and you accepted the role of a Romeo. But after the play, you're no more Romeo.
Yeah.
So you give up that identity that I was Romeo.
Alright.
You give up the identity I'm an engineer. You give up the identity that I was a doctor. That's what death means. Death means you're giving up that identity, false identity of that temporary identity you had accepted. Because the body is dead. Krishna says, Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. This body is always dead, but you never die.
Mhm.
You continue. And you have heard of reincarnation?
Yeah.
So the soul, that is you continue in your journey. Based on your desires and what you deserve, you get another body.
Mhm.
As you quit this body, you get another body. Say if someone says, I want to sleep all day, then human life is not meant for that. In human body, if you sleep all day, you get diseases in the body, like a hip pain and so many other problems. So therefore, when you quit the body, the law of karma, the material nature awards you a body of a polar bear. You can just sleep for 6 months.
Mhm.
But human body, you cannot. So based on your desires, you get a body. So if you have a particular desire that I don't like to wear clothes, so next life you can get a body of a tree.
Mhm.
Tree doesn't have to wear clothes, or an animal. Similarly, if you have desire that, you know, I want to eat anything and everything, so similarly, human body is not meant for that. Then you get a similar body. You get a tiger's body, leopard's body, you know, who can actually eat other things. So based on desires, you get the body.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? So you're actually the person who is accepting these different roles and identities based on your own desires. And why do you cultivate such desires? Because one feels through these desires I'll become happy.
But I'm in this body right now and I don't remember my past life.
Yes.
So how do you explain that? Like I don't remember my past.
Yes, actually the forgetfulness is given just so that we can actually continue to enjoy. Just for example, just imagine you just had a love failure, you know, heart breakup. Now, even if you want to fall in love, your past experience and the shock of that past experience will not allow you to do so.
Mhm.
That means you have a desire to fall in love, but because you had a bitter experience before, you're always kind of restricted. And therefore, when we change the body, forgetfulness is given so that the living entity who is harnessing all these desires other than to serve God, this material world is a facility for that. Try to enjoy as much as you can without God.
Mhm.
So therefore, keeping in line with the purpose of the material world, yes, forgetfulness is given so that you can continue to enjoy.
Mhm.
If the forgetfulness is not given, like say imagine last life you were playing with a knife and you cut yourself bad that you died.
Mhm.
And now even if you want to play with the knife, now you're very scared, isn't it? So therefore forgetfulness is given.
Mhm. Okay.
Isn't it? People also in this world, you see, some bad thing happens, they want to go into a pub, drink so much that they want to forget the experience. Isn't it? So that forgetfulness is given by nature at the time of death.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's ways to remember you want to also.
There are certain ways like hypnotic regression, and some ways are there which are a little more subtle, but there is no point of understanding it. It's like if you have been bitten by a mosquito containing, you know, the malaria virus. Yeah, now if the doctor is ready to give you medicine, he is ready to cure you. But if you tell the doctor, but before you cure me, I really want to find out which was that mosquito who bit me.
Mhm.
So it is pointless. Understand some mosquito bit you, which was containing malaria virus.
Mhm.
So understanding that something was there. Like for example, I'm just traveling. I lost my $100. I had just kept it in my front pocket, but I don't know where it is now. Okay, I tried my best to look for it. I couldn't find it. Then I understand why did this happen to me? Because I would have taken someone else's $100 in the past. So the karma is boomeranging on me, isn't it? Now, if I have to really find out who was it from whom I took $100 last life, it's an unnecessary endeavor. It takes a lot of time in your valuable human form of life, where time is very limited. But there are ways like hypnotic regression. You can look up. Some subtle ways are there. Because all the experiences, they're stored in the subtle body, in the mind, but they're just like inaccessible. The access is cut out, but it is not lost. Sometimes they come through dreams. So all these things are there. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So the pure devotees, they're very happy discussing about Krishna. They're very happy practicing spiritual life, and they keep spiritual life ahead, on top of material life. Because when your foundation of your understanding of life is based on spiritual life, your material life, you know how to deal with it. Your material life will not bewilder you. It will not overwhelm you. Why? Because you're grounded in spirituality. You know that Krishna is in control. You know Krishna is there for me. And you know if Krishna wants, he can change the whole situation. Or if something is continuing to trouble us, then you know Krishna is in control and he's allowing this to happen so that I learn a good lesson. So being grounded in spirituality gives us an inner strength to battle the material world, to deal with the ongoing miseries that we have to face. And the misery is not just the bad things that happen. Sometimes good things make us proud. And being very proud, we actually don't treat others well. So all kinds of miseries, isn't it? So therefore the devotees, how do they behave? They just keep Krishna in the center. They keep the spiritual life in the center. They wake up early morning. They chant Hare Krishna. They discuss from the Bhagavad Gita. They are tushyanticha ramanticha, means they're very happy discussing about Krishna. They're so satisfied in spiritual life that materially speaking, they're also satisfied. They are not greedy. In the material world, more you try to fulfill your material desires, more you want and cultivate more better material desires. It is like adding fuel to fire. People think if I just become rich, I'll be fully satisfied. But it never happens. The rich always wants to get richer. You think Elon Musk is satisfied right now? No. He's actually disappointed that court did not allow him his $1 billion salary, isn't it? 53 billion.
He's disappointed.
Sorry?
He's disappointed.
He's disappointed. I mean, I would say, can you just give me 1 million? I'll be happy. Isn't it? But people, we think if I become a millionaire, I'll be happy. I'll be satisfied. But once you become millionaire, we want to become multi-millionaire. Once we become multi-millionaire, billionaire. Then you want to become Krishna. But it will never happen. Isn't it? It never stops. So it is like adding fuel to fire. Fire only grows. But if we are grounded in spirituality, then material life is also kept under control. Yes, it's not bad. It's not wrong to become a CEO, have money, have possessions. But being grounded in spirituality gives us the inner strength to use them in the right purpose, in service of God and His children. But we are not grounded in spirituality, then our own possessions, we are not possessing them, they are possessing us. Isn't it? I am not handling my smartphone, the smartphone is handling me. Ever experienced that before? You know my time is very precious, but the Instagram just has got such a strong hold on you. And you can only get out of its clutches after like 2 hours of scrolling. Why? Because the senses are not controlled. The heart is not yet pure. So therefore, the pure devotees are those who keep their spiritual life in the center. And therefore, they are very satisfied and they derive great pleasure practicing spiritual life. And because their source of happiness is spiritual life, material life, they do the needful. Material life, they are not so greedy to possess everything. they're always in a mood of service. Whatever they have been given by God. We don't possess anything by our own endeavor. Because how do we know that? People generally think, if I work hard, I can get whatever I want. My dear sir, in this world, people are working harder than us, but they're still not getting what they want. Isn't it? If you go to India, there are people who get up at 4 a.m., catch a train at 5 a.m. to a destination 3 hours away, like Pune to Mumbai. They work all day and reach back home, again taking the train back, 3-hour train back, reach home at like 10 or 11 or 12 at night. Sometimes their children don't recognize who my father is because they're not at home. They leave before the children get up and they're back after children are asleep. They're working so hard, but they don't get their success. Isn't it? So hard work is not the only measure. There is also the force of karma. Having understood this, the devotees, they do the needful in material life, but they keep spiritual life at center. Yes. Why? Because spiritual life can help us uplift our consciousness. Spiritual life can help us go from material world to spiritual world. Material world, everything is temporary. Spiritual world, everything is permanent. Isn't it? Material world is a world of misery. Spiritual world is a world of complete bliss, happiness. So therefore, they derive great satisfaction and bliss simply talking about God and discussing about deep wisdom like this. And material life also goes on. They're not irresponsible. They're not detached superficially. They do their work nicely with great responsibility, but they're detached in heart with respect to the fruits of their action. I will do my best. If it comes to me, no problem, I'll use in God's service. It doesn't come, no problem, I didn't deserve it. So you become very peaceful. And that's how the devotees live. Isn't it? Okay. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam
Bhajam priti purvakam
dadami buddhi yogam tam
dadami buddhi yogam tam
yena mam upayanti te.
yena mam upayanti te.
Next translation.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
Yes. Krishna is saying only to those who are ready to serve me, I give the understanding how they can come to me. Nowadays, people are they ask, oh, if God exists, show me your God. If I can see your God, I believe in God. Is seeing believing? Definitely not. There's so many things. Like one professor was speaking like this in the classroom, and the student asked, my dear sir, can you see your brain? And he said, no. So all the kids started laughing because then your brain does not exist. Why? Because some people think whatever you see, only that you can believe. There's so many things in this world, practically speaking, which we don't see, but we believe. How many of you have been to Australia? How many of you believe it exists? Okay. Isn't it? You've never seen it. But you can say you have seen it in the map. I can draw anything on the map. You can say that you have met people coming from Australia. Yes, but we also meet devotees who are in touch with the spiritual world. Isn't it? So from that logic, yes, spiritual world also exists. But seeing is definitely not believing. Why? Even something what we see need not be true. Any example? Something we see, but actually is not true. Mirage, yes. Mirage in a desert, it appears to be there's some water, and a poor desert animal runs after the mirage for water under the hot sun. Being completely exhausted, it falls down dead because actually there's no water. Anything else?
It's like fake friends.
Fake friends. Yeah, they look like friends, but they're not friends. Yeah. So sometimes what we see is actually not true, and sometimes what we don't see is actually true. So understand, life is little deeper than what our senses can perceive. So therefore Krishna says, if you want to know me, you can't just demand. Krishna is not another person. Krishna is not so cheap, as Prabhupada would say. If you want to see God, you have to develop those eyes to see God. If you want to see God, you have to develop the qualification to see God. If someone says, I want to meet Trump, only then I believe in Trump. But you go and ask Trump, can I see you? He says, who the hell are you? I'm an American. Yeah. If you want to meet the Prime Minister, you can do something great for the country, and then the Prime Minister will say, yeah, I want to meet this guy. Then you can meet him. If he wants to meet you, you can meet him. But if you want to meet, it's like taking a torch and seeing where the sun is. It's very foolish. When people say, where is God? I don't see God. It is like taking a torch and looking at the sun. A torchlight will not help you find the sun. The sun is there. You have to just open your eyes. So in this way, Krishna is saying that understanding how to know me, that I give. That path, say for example, in the Bhagavatam, there is the story of King Dhruva. Dhruva was very upset. He wanted to take revenge upon his father for having insulted him and his stepmother. So he wanted a revenge that he would get a kingdom greater than that of not just his father, his great-grandfather Brahma. So his mother said, go to forest, and that's where the yogis find Vishnu or Krishna. So he was heading to the forest. He was heading to the forest with a great desire that I want to meet the Supreme Lord. Not by that I want to become his devotee, but I want something from him. But still the desire that I want to meet God was there. When he was rushing to the forest with that great intense desire that I want to meet God, immediately whom did he come across? The great saint Narada. And Narada immediately said, you're a small child, why are you, so obstinate? Don't worry about these small insults. You're a small child, go and play with the toys. Dhruva said, Narada, either you help me, give me good advice on how to attain the Supreme Lord, otherwise you stand aside. Because I'm completely determined to do whatever it takes to understand God, to know him and to see him. Then Narada was very appreciative. He was very happy that there is such a sincere seeker. Immediately he gave him the process, how to see God. So how did Narada come across Dhruva? Was it by a coincidence? Was it by chance? In the entire huge jungle, they just came across each other's path. It is mentioned the saintly people in this world travel according to the will of the Supreme Lord. So Narada was sent by Vishnu because Vishnu sensed that this Dhruva has a desire to know me. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Krishna gives the means how to reach out to him. Just by our own endeavor, we cannot know God. We have to cultivate that desire. Yes, I want to know him. I want to know the person being glorified in all the scriptures, across all the religions. Who is he? What is his nature? I want to develop a relationship with him. Yes, for such a seeker, Krishna arranges the means. It is at that time that the living entity come across a devotee of this Lord. It's only at that time. Otherwise, no. It's not a coincidence or it's not by chance. So therefore, if we have that desire to know him, then Krishna immediately gives the understanding. How does he give the understanding to know him? Krishna is present in our heart as the super soul, Paramatma. And as Paramatma is sitting in the heart, he is guiding the living entity. Okay, go there. Okay, don't do this. Okay, look there. Isn't it? And that's how sometimes, we're just coolly walking across and the Paramatma says, hey, look at here, what is this 305 Schemon Street? And the living entity says, yeah, it's something new building, I've never seen it before. And then he enters, oh, it's a Hare Krishna temple. And he meets the devotees. Why did he even come inside? I've met so many students having the same experience. Why did he even step inside? He stepped in because he was directed. And Paramatma directs. Paramatma directs the living entities like that. Paramatma directs those who have that eagerness to know him he directs them to his devotees. So therefore we say anyone who comes to temple, they are not ordinary. They're all sent, they're all guided by the Paramatma, by the Super Soul. There's no, we don't believe in by chance, because by chance is a very sophisticated way of saying I don't know. Something has come by chance. Basically, you're too proud to say I don't know, isn't it? So there's nothing called as by chance. It is all an arrangement. Because if everything is under control of Krishna, how can there be by chance? That means God is not in control. Therefore, there's coincidence, there is by chance, there's possibility, probability. But when we understand God is in control, then everything is happening by His will. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So if someone dies, it's because if someone dies, it's because it wasn't a coincidence. It was God's, Krishna's decision.
Good question. If someone dies, generally Krishna does not interfere into the lives of the living entities. So the living entities' lives are being orchestrated by the law of karma. Where are they born? To whom are they born? When will they die? What type of life they will lead? Destiny and free will and all this is being orchestrated by the law of karma. It's handled by material nature. It's only for those living entities who show a slight interest in God. Krishna also takes interest in them. And to them, he guides them how to come to him. Otherwise, they are all just being orchestrated by the material nature. To go here, to come there. Everything is being orchestrated.
What about like if you wanted to eat a certain food? Is it Krishna decision? It was his arrangement to wanting you to eat that kind of food for lunch?
No, it is the desire of the living entity, the soul.
Oh,
It's his desire, and that desire is sanctioned by Krishna as the Paramatma.
Mhm.
For example, in the Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, see, Krishna is present in our heart, God is present in our heart as a super soul. Why is he called the super soul? Because we are also present in the same personality as a soul, and he is also present as a super soul. Now, the functions of the super soul are two. He is the witness, the witnesser, and the sanctioner. Witness means he witnesses all our activities. Like you can go in the dark room and do whatever you want, thinking no one is seeing you. The Paramatma is seeing you. The super soul is watching you. So he's the witness. And second is sanctioner. Sanctioner means as soon as the soul cultivates a desire, okay, I want to enjoy a Dunkin' Donut. Now the Paramatma sees, do you deserve to enjoy that? On what basis? Okay, have you done enough pious activity and developed good karma so that you can enjoy a Dunkin' Donut? Then just your friend will come, and if so, your friend will come and just tell you, Alan, just take a Dunkin' Donut. I had an extra piece. How is that possible? Because the Paramatma saw, yes, you have enough good karma, pious credits to enjoy in this material world. So Paramatma, the super soul, sanctions your desire. When super soul sanctions a desire, the material nature arranges whatever it needs so that your desire can be fulfilled. So it's it's like a tripod. You have the soul, who can only desire. Then you have Krishna as the super soul in the heart, who is a sanctioner of your desire. If sanctioned, he orders the material nature, the environment around us, to make enough arrangement such that your desire is fulfilled. In case you desire something and Krishna feels you don't deserve it, then material nature will not do anything so that your desire will remain unfulfilled. Like for example, I have a desire to lift my hand. So the very fact that I'm lifting my hand is because super soul is sanctioning it, and material nature, who is in control of all the material elements, is allowing my hand to be moved. So I can lift my hand, I can speak, I can see. But if I want to lift my hand and Krishna does not sanction it, then I can get a right hand side body paralysis, where my right hand is completely paralyzed. I have no control over it. So though I may desire, I cannot move it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why can't you move your arm?
Because in case Paramatma does not sanction, the super soul does not sanction it. So we as a living entity, we can only desire, cultivate desires. Now those desires to be fulfilled, first of all, has to be sanctioned.
Well, why would he not sanction it?
Oh, okay. He would not sanction it based on if we don't have good karma or if we only have bad karma. If we don't have any pious credits, good credits, he will not sanction it.
Okay.
Yeah. If we have bad credits, then he sanctions our suffering. Like you can say, for example, why are floods, the natural disasters claiming lives of thousands and millions of people? Why is God so cruel? It is not God being cruel. Krishna as the super soul only sees with respect to what you deserve, with respect to your past activities.
Yeah.
So when the majority of the population becomes sinful based on whatever past activities they have done, sinful activities they have done in whatever life. So when the majority of the population becomes sinful, then instead of reciprocating with each one of them with a sinful reaction, just one flood will wipe them out. They all will get the reaction. But understand, no one is dead because the soul never dies. Soul is eternal. So they might lose one body, but they get another body. This is all some sort of a justice system. The law of karma is a justice system in nature. Just as in a government you have courts, like a justice system. Sometimes someone murders someone, he's given capital punishment. You cannot blame the judge, he's bad. He is giving the judgment in accordance with the activity of the convicted. Isn't it? So don't blame the judge. So super soul is acting like the judge here. With all the living entities, he's just acting like the judge. You have done good, okay, this is your reward. You have done bad, okay, this is your punishment. But with his devotees, those living entities who take interest in trying to know and understand God, he is a different person. He becomes like the father. In general, he's like the judge. But the living entities who want to reciprocate with God, who want to love and serve him, he becomes the father. Then he is very caring for the children. And who can love and serve God? Anyone. Krishna does not say only this section of society can approach me. Only if you're born in a certain aristocratic family you can worship me. Anyone can worship him.
So is the reason why we want to worship God is because we want something from him?
That depends on the living entities.
Is that bad though?
It's not bad. Well, you can say it's not that bad. Because love means it's not motivated. If I cultivate friendship with you, oh, hi Alan, I really like you're a nice person. I heard you are working in Google. Can I have some money from you? So immediately okay, why was this person kind? Because he wants something from me.
Okay, so it has to be genuine.
Yes, it has to be genuine love. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So therefore we say that love has to be unmotivated. Yes, we want to develop love for God, but not with the motive of getting something from him. Then it becomes a business transaction.
Yeah. Like
you fly in an airplane and the air hostess is so kind to you. You think she likes you. But then you understand she actually gets her the payment at the end of the month. As soon as the payment is stopped, immediately she's another person. Isn't it? Because it's a motivated thing. Yeah, that makes sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
I have a question about
Yes.
the right hand example.
Yeah.
In that example, when God is giving you karma or making sure that you go through your karma, is the understanding that you pray to God or you become more spiritually motivated so that you can handle the situation with less pain, or is it that Krishna will actually step in and change your karma?
Yeah, so Krishna will not step in until and unless the living entity wants that. So generally the living entities who come to this material world, they don't want to do anything with God. That's the whole reason why they've come to this material world. Yeah. So Krishna remains aloof. I mean, he wants to reciprocate, but it is us who don't want him. So when they experience some suffering, usually that is when we wake up and ask, what is the purpose of this world? Isn't it? Why am I suffering? Why do bad things happen to good people? We question life. And that's when, Krishna sees, this person is waking up and he sends a devotee in his life.
Yeah, but I guess my question is more like, to what extent can karma be altered by Krishna versus to what extent you have to just undergo the suffering sometimes, right?
If at all Krishna wants to interfere, seeing that okay, it's my devotee, he can even nullify the karma.
Mhm.
He can completely remove all the sinful reactions. He can make it nil. And sometimes he allows it to happen, just a token of it, not the entire blow of it, just so that we'll learn our lesson.
Yeah.
For example, if someone becomes a devotee, but he is still little late for his meetings, then Krishna might arrange that he be laid off, so that he learns a good lesson on punctuality.
Mhm.
Something like that. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Isn't that a bigger punishment just to learn a lesson?
That's my example. But I'm not God, so you don't have to worry. Yeah. So therefore Krishna says, if someone wants to develop love for me, I make all the arrangements how they can come to me. I give them the intelligence, I give them the facility, I send the saintly people in their lives somehow or the other so that they can come to me. So therefore we don't have to worry, oh, when will I find God? No. We just have to desire that I want to know God. Krishna makes all the facility, all the arrangements. And then the final verse, Teshamevanukampartham
Teshamevanukampatham
aham ajnanajam tamaha
Ahamagyanajan tamah
nashayamyatmabhavasto
Nashayamātmabhavasto
jnanadipena bhasvata.
Jnanadipena bhasvata.
Translation.
To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Yeah. And therefore those living entities who choose to become devotees of God, Krishna, being the super soul, he cleanses the heart of lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. He cleanses the heart of all the false identities. We think we are very great. Krishna will smash our pride to powder, like he does it for Indra time and again, just so that we become humble. And Krishna actually gives us realizations. He gives us wisdom. See, wisdom is not realized through books. Just by reading books, you cannot understand wisdom. BhagavadGita is such a book of wisdom. Just by reading it, you will not understand. But when you put into practice, when you want to put into practice what Krishna is telling Arjuna, then Krishna reciprocates with such a devotee and gives him knowledge, the realizations, the wisdom. And that's what Krishna is saying. That is a special mercy to his devotees. That he wants to help them understand you're not this body of spirit soul. And not that you're a spirit soul wandering in the entirety of Brahman, in the effulgence, but you're my part and parcel. And you're eternally related to me. So these realizations, yes, God exists. Yes, the goal of life is to love and understand and love God, to serve God. These realizations Krishna gives in the heart. And all the ignorance, the darkness born of ignorance, wherever there is light, there is no darkness. And when there is darkness, when there is no light, there is darkness. And in darkness, there is worry. There is fear. And there is lamentation. Lamentation of the past, illusion of the present, worry of the future, and fear of life. Because it's dark. And what does Krishna say? To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts with the shining lamp of knowledge, destroy the darkness born of ignorance. We become completely enlightened. And in such a state of mind, we are not scared of any danger in this material world. Why? Because we know I am not this body. If anything comes and happens to me, they cannot kill me. Like Socrates said, only if you find me. Like he was in his story, and I think towards the end of his life, some people wanted to kill him or something. I don't know exactly the story. But he made a remark, well, only if you can catch me. Why? He wanted to point out that I am not this body. I am actually a spirit soul. So you can kill my body, which is already dead. It's all material elements. But you cannot kill me the person. You cannot kill me. Because I am the eternal soul. So in this way, that realization of this knowledge, we can all repeat like parrots, I'm not this body, I'm spirit, soul. But the realization to dawn in the heart, that you need Krishna's special mercy. And that's only for those who are willing to study Bhagavad Gita and apply in their life. That means, what is the application? See, the study of the Gita is followed by action in practical life. That means we have to apply the teachings. Krishna is telling Arjuna, absorb your mind in thoughts of me. Use your words in my glorification. Use your action to work for me. When we apply this in our life, then immediately Krishna reciprocates. Then how do we apply it? What does it mean to apply this in our life? That means we chant Hare Krishna. If we don't chant Hare Krishna, we are hearing so much of knowledge every day, every week, and we don't chant Hare Krishna, then it becomes a theoretical knowledge. We are only increasing head weight. Someone says, do you have Bhagavad Gita? We say, yeah, I know Bhagavad Gita. That's head weight. I only know it. I don't apply it. Isn't it? How many of you know Bhagavad Gita and don't apply it? Okay, so be honest. Isn't it? We all know Bhagavad Gita, but we may not apply it. The application is in the chanting of Hare Krishna. Because when you chant the names of God, as soon as I say Kaushal, immediately he's awake, Kaushal, okay. Isn't it? As soon as I say Jayant, immediately he's alert. Okay, someone's calling my name. Similarly, when we say Krishna, we become alert. Okay, I'm calling out to God, and God becomes alert. Oh, he's calling out to me. Isn't it? So we chant the names of God. And when we chant the names of God, that is the specified process for this age of Kali, the Kali Yuga. The chanting of the names of God, and especially this mantra of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are sitting straight, we are using our hands to count the beads. So our hands, the fingers are engaged. We are keeping our eyes closed so that we don't get distracted. We are using our tongue to chant the holy names. The tongue is engaged, eyes are engaged. And we are using our ears to hear the mantra, the Mahamantra. And so ears are engaged. So all absorption means what? Absorption means when all the senses are engaged in the activity. That's absorption. Isn't in Ashtanga Yoga, what is after controlling senses? Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Samadhi means complete absorption in something. We don't say meditation or nothingness. It's impossible. If you try to meditate on nothing, you're going to meditate on your own thoughts. So therefore Krishna says, meditate on me. And how meditate on me? By chanting his name. When we chant his name regularly, start with 10 minutes. See, it's only when we chant we understand how uncontrolled our minds are. Otherwise, we don't even know that we are under the control and the sway of the mind. We think we are controlling the mind. Isn't it? We think these are my desires, these are my likes and my dislikes. But actually, everything is controlled by the mind. You tell the mind that I don't want to do this time. Then the mind says, hey, for last 10 years you have been doing this. I've been telling you to do this and you have been doing it. So now you have to continue and you're forced to do it. Isn't it? So that is the control of the mind. So therefore, when we chant Hare Krishna, we are engaging the mind in thinking of Krishna. We are engaging our tongue in chanting his holy name. Engaging the ear in hearing the holy name. And in this way, we become completely absorbed in chanting in Krishna. So this is application. And this is not sufficient. Chanting the holy name in the association of devotees. Time and again, we have to hear the knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita. We have to come and discuss. As Krishna says, Tushyanticha Ramanticha, my devotees come together and discuss about this. And by which they become satisfied. By which they learn from one another how to apply. They learn and get inspiration from one another of how to be Krishna conscious. So when we do this, Krishna reciprocates by removing the darkness that is born of ignorance in the heart. Krishna washes away from the heart all the lower callings of passion, of lust, anger, greed, pride and illusion, and we become pure at heart. What this world is lacking today is a person of purity. When people in this world become pure, we are only increasing the goodness in this world. Otherwise, if you can think of this world as the healing cells, just like our body, we have healing cells and we have cancerous cells. More we succumb to lust, anger, greed, we are increasing this cancerous cells. If you have cancerous cells in the body, that leads to tumor and cancer and death. So you want to increase the healing cells. What are the healing cells? The healing cells are those which are going to help you. They're going to fight the cancer cells and increase the goodwill of your body. That means they're going to do good to the body. Similarly, this world is also like a body. More we all come together, be grounded in spirituality and chant Hare Krishna and purify our hearts. To that degree, we all become a contributor, a healing cell of this world. More we succumb to our own lust, anger and greed, we become a cancerous cell. So if you want to become a healing cell to this world, then we need to practice spirituality. If we want to become a cancerous cell, then let spirituality go. Just succumb to lust, anger, greed. But there's a third option, and healing cell or a cancerous cell. So if people are very concerned about the goodwill of this material world, if you want to make it a better place for everyone to live in, we need to be ourselves pure. And therefore it is said charity begins at home. First, we need to work on ourselves. Once my guru was asked, his name is Radhanath Swami, he was asked in a flight, he was sitting with an ecologist or an environmentalist, and she was saying, Swamiji, I understand you're a saint and you travel across the globe giving a lot of sermons, but what are you doing for the environment of this world? Because there's so much pollution and this and that. So Radhanath Maharaj said that the ecology of this world is polluted, the environment in this world is polluted on account of the pollution of the inner environment. Because the environment of our heart is polluted by pollution of lust, anger, greed, that reflects in the external world as the pollution outside. The rivers are polluted, the air is polluted, all kinds of pollution is going on because the people want to exploit material nature and enjoy with their senses. It's called greed and lust. So we work on our own heart, the ecology of our heart. When we chant Hare Krishna, we purify our heart. When we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna removes the darkness from our heart. When we ourselves become pure, we can actually do something for the environment of this world. Even without doing anything, we have become a healing cell. Does that make sense? Isn't it? And therefore Krishna says, for my pure devotees, I make their heart pure. Same in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, Srinvatam Swakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtanaha, Hridyantasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti, Suhritsatam. For my devotees, I go into their heart and cleanse off all the dust. I cleanse their enjoying propensity, the selfish mentality. I cleanse that off. So Krishna reciprocates. When we worship God, God reciprocates by rendering us pure. It's just like anything you put in front of sun just purifies. Isn't it? If there's urine on the road and there's sun purifies the urine, but sun doesn't get affected. Similarly, when we approach God, God is all pure. Even if our hearts are impure, God can purify our heart and we will also become pure in association of God. Then we can actually approach God. Does that make sense? Yeah? And therefore, Krishna says that is his special mercy to remove the darkness from our heart. And more we become pure at heart, more we can see things to their core reality. Otherwise, this whole world is a reflection of our own perceptions. We all have bias and partiality towards what we like, what we don't like, our own perceptions. And therefore there are wars, there is bias, Russia versus US, Russia, Ukraine, India, Pakistan, the black and the white. You name it and it is there, all kinds of differences. Why? Because people are so selfish. But Krishna says when we become God-centered, then we are actually purifying our heart. And a pure heart can only do good to others. So therefore, when we see, as per in the purport Sri Prabhupada is saying, when Lord Chaitanya was in Banaras promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakashananda Saraswati, a very influential learned scholar in Banaras at that time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of the literatures or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. That means if you are ready to love and serve God, then Krishna takes care. He purifies our heart. So the Mayavadi philosophers think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. Okay. See, Prabhupada again writes, man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the Supreme Truth, he will never understand Krishna or the Supreme Truth. Only by devotional service is the Supreme Truth Krishna pleased, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. So that means just by speculating you cannot understand God. God has to reveal himself. And he does it for one who wants to know him. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart, and with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Because the pure devotee is always, he wants to love Krishna, he wants to install the Supreme Lord at the pedestal of his heart. When Krishna is there, he's all pure. He's like the sun. Sun is called as an antiseptic and prophylactic. Antiseptic means it purifies. Prophylactic means it doesn't get contaminated itself in the association of contamination. Sun is like that. The urine does not pollute the sun, but our mind gets purified. Our mind becomes peaceful. Our mind becomes controlled. How? Just by keeping him in our mind. And how can you keep him in our mind? We can only keep him by chanting Hare Krishna. That's the easiest way. When we chant, we immediately remember God because we're chanting his names. Now, who has the mic? Can you just read this?
Due to the contamination of material association through many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears, and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and only by mental speculation, and not by mental speculations or argument.
Yeah, correct. So Prabhupada is saying that basically when we try to love God, then God will take care. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors. So these are the 4 verses. I just explained a little on the platform of an overview. But each one of these verses you can speak for several classes with a lot of discussion. But in the interest of time, I quickly covered them.